the first thing to know about getting your dog or cat ready to go in the car, come on Duncan, here we go, is not to do it all of a sudden on the day when you have to go to the vet or take a trip somewhere. You got to ease them into this whole idea. They don't know what this is. Get them used to going in the car in stages. First, by not going anywhere at all. Get your pet in the car in front of the house. Then, short little drives around the neighborhood, rewarded with treats, of course. Have blankets and beds in the car that they are used to, that came out of the house. I recognize the smell. And then later, when it really matters, they're not freaked out. Remember, animals get used to things they don't understand, like cars, by recognizing patterns that don't threaten them over time. So you've got to give them time to get used to this machine. Oh, here's a good boy. Now, once you do get your pet used to going around in the car, here's why it's important to secure them in there. Our 60-pound friend here weighs 2,700 pounds when a car comes to a dead stop from as little as 35 miles per hour. That inertia can be very damaging to him, to you, and then you've got a freaked out animal in the car after an accident who, if he's loose, can be threatening first responders or running out into traffic, getting himself hurt or causing another accident. And I'm sure you've seen these sort of barricades that are used in wagons and SUVs, and they're fine for compartmentalizing the vehicle. But does this look like it's up to the task of handling 2,700 pounds of flying dog? No. And that's where these safety harnesses come in. They've got this whole padded sort of chest piece here, and then it lashes over the back of their neck and underneath their front legs. Kind of goes on like this. And this whole thing clips to a sliding tether that goes onto the shoulder belt portion in the second row, away from those front row airbags.
Dogs should always be restrained in vehicles, even if you're just going on a short journey.
But here's the problem. A recent study done by the Center for Pet Safety in conjunction with Subaru, because their owners love to bring their dogs around in their cars, found that a lot of these harnesses are crap. They gathered 11 of them in a recent survey. One of them tested really well. 6 of them basically broke on impact, didn't work out well at all. 4 of them were so bad they didn't even bother testing them. One with the unlikely name of SleepyPod Click-It was the only one that held up well in this study. It happens to be among the priciest as well, at $90 to $100, but seemingly money well spent. Now when it comes to cats, it's kind of like Harry and Tonto.
My cat has to relieve himself.
You're not supposed to have any animals on a vehicle.
Always in a carrier on the road. And then what you want to do is use the belts to at least lash this carrier in place, again, second row away from front row airbags. You might also consider putting it down in the well between the 2 rows of seats. That really kind of locks it in, and some cats love being in little enclosed areas. And look for a carrier that's got places for the belt to sort of snug in so it doesn't just slip off like this. Let's talk about dogs in the backs of pickup trucks. A few states and a few additional municipalities have laws against it. Most do not.
The Marin Humane Society was actually at the forefront of introducing legislation to ban that. There's dangers with dogs possibly flying out of vehicles if you get into a collision or if you have to stop short. And we introduced that way back in 1983. Eventually, a couple decades later, it became a state law in California.
Here's what you want to do to use common sense. Get your dog into a carrier, a rigid carrier in the bed. Then cross-tether that so it's not sliding around fore and aft, left to right in any kind of maneuver or impact.
If that's not a possibility, then investing in some kind of harness would be another option.
And of course, it should go without saying, park the car, take the pet. It gets incredibly hot in a car on even a slightly warm day.
If you're stopping even just for an errand, don't keep them in the car without any ventilation.
Keeping your pet safe in the car, it pays humane dividends to double check that you've done it right.